15th June 2023 Morning Murli Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, the study is the means with which you can awaken your sleeping fortune. This study is your source of income through which your fortune is awakened for 21 births. Question: what one speciality does the spiritual college have that no other college in the world can have? Answer: this is the only college where your guru or teacher is not a human being. Incorporeal God himself becomes the teacher and teaches you. He is such a unique father that he doesn't even have an image himself. He doesn't have a father or a teacher of his own. He teaches you such a study that your fortune remains awake for 21 births. In other studies, you make your fortune for only one birth, whereas in this study, you make your fortune for 21 births. Song: having awakened my fortune, I have come. Shanti. The Father sits here and explains to you children who have come to awaken your fortune why what happened to your fortune. The fortune was cancelled. Bharat was fortunate. The people of Bharat were deities. Their fortune was awakened. Now the people of Bharat are the masters of hell, and so their fortune is not so bright. Who is explaining this? The one who makes everyone's fortune, the one who liberates everyone from sorrow and then gives them happiness. This is now a land of sorrow. Bharat became a land of happiness 5,000 years ago. Everyone's fortune was awake, whereas it is now asleep. It must definitely be the unlimited Father who awakens the fortune of the whole human world. The Father is the Creator. You now understand that all the people of Bharat used to be happy. Which people? It is not that there were so many people in the golden age. There were 900,000 at the beginning of the golden age. It was the beginning of the deity religion. It is the Father, the ocean of knowledge, the seed of the human world, who explains all of this. If a child is asked, who created you? He would say, my mother and father created me, because everyone takes birth through a mother and father. A husband doesn't give birth to his wife. He adopts her and says, you are my wife. And then children are created with her. He is a creator. He adopts a wife. He takes a Kumari who previously belonged to another family and makes her his wife, and the children that are born then call them mother and father. They are a limited mother and father. A father gets his daughter married. At first, when a Kumari is pure, she is given a lot of regard. Then as soon as she becomes impure, that regard doesn't remain. It is said that a Kumari is one who uplifts 21 generations. The Father now sits here and explains at this time that you Brahma Kumaris are now uplifting the people of Bharat for 21 births. All of you are Kumaris. Some of you might be married, but because you have become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, you have become brothers and sisters. You cannot use the sword of lust. There is respect for purity. Sannyasis became pure, and so there is respect for them too. When there was purity in Bharat, Bharat was constantly happy. It was completely viceless. People go to the temples and sing, you are completely virtuous. In fact, your religion is not the Hindu religion. Hindustan is the place where you live. You would not call the religion of those living in Europe means European. Their religion is Christianity. The religion of those living in Hindustan is not Hinduism. It should be another religion. The Father explains that it is those who belong to the deity religion who call themselves Hindus because they have forgotten their religion. Hinduism is not the original eternal religion. Christians believe in Christ because he established the Christian religion. Here no one knows which religion they belong to. Someone who belongs to the Sikh religion would say, I belong to the Sikh religion. Who established the Sikh religion? They would say that Guru Nanak established it. How did he establish that religion? Only you know this. An impure soul cannot establish a religion. All the founders of the religions are at first pure. They then enter impure bodies and establish the religions. Just as Guru Nanak had children of his own, and then a pure soul entered him and established the Sikh religion. So this Brahma too has an impure body, and the Father, the ocean of knowledge, enters him. You know that one is our Father. It is the soul that says this. You now have to become soul conscious. Each soul resides in a body. When someone says, I am a merchant, it is the soul that says it through his organs. The soul says, I have completed 84 births. The Father sits here and explains, I am the Father of all of you souls. I only incarnate in Bharat. I do not have a body of my own. Even Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar have subtle bodies of their own. I only incarnate in Bharat. They show a Shivlingam as a memorial of me. But I do not have such a huge form. I am a star, just as souls are stars. Souls cannot be so large. There is a wonderful sparkling star in the center of each forehead. Souls are very tiny. A vision of light usually appears to be white. How many billions of souls are there now? There will not be as many embodied souls in the golden age. If there were that many in the golden age, there would be many billions of souls by now. However, there aren't that many. You children know that it is not a holy man or a sannyasi, but the Father who is explaining to you. That Father does not have a father. Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar have the Father. Even Shri Krishna had a father. The unlimited Father says, I do not have a father or teacher. In the golden age, children will go to school and study the art of ruling, and they will have a teacher. But I do not have a teacher. I gave you the teachings of Raj Yoga, but I will not become a king or an emperor. It is your children who will become that. Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan were what you worship. They ruled in the golden age. The incorporeal Father becomes present in this body in order to teach you souls. We souls are studying. He is the ocean of knowledge and the ocean of peace. The Father says, I gave you my inheritance for 21 births. You had peace and happiness in the golden age. Ravan, the evil spirit, does not exist there. That is the completely viceless world. It is now a completely vicious world. Your children know that you have now come to Baba to make your fortune. You make your fortune in a school. You study and pass and become a teacher. Here you make your fortune for 21 births. Those people make their fortune for just one birth. They study in a school and earn an income for the livelihood of their bodies and those of others. In those schools, you only make your fortune for one birth. You do not become an engineer or a barrister for a birth after birth. You have to study again in your next birth. The livelihood you earn for your body is for only one birth. The Father says, I gave you the inheritance of peace and happiness for 21 births. It is unlimited Father who says this. He does not have a father. Your children say, Baba, we belong to you. Baba says, yes, children, you belong to me a cycle ago, and you now belong to me again. This is the love of the children for God, the Father. Souls and the Supreme Soul have been separated for a long time. 5,000 years ago too, I made you children beautiful and gave you health and wealth, because this knowledge is your source of income. Fortune is created by studying. That fortune is limited, whereas this one is unlimited. This is a school, not a satsang, means religious gathering. When people go to satsangs, someone read the Ramayana or the Granth to them. Baba is knowledgeful. Baba doesn't study the scriptures, etc. He says, I know everything. It is the intellects of only your children that he is the most beloved father, the one whom everyone remembers and calls out to. Come into this impure world and give us immense happiness. You are the mother and father, and we are your children. You have come personally in front of Baba and became his children. The father is without an image. He doesn't have an image, means body of his own. So, how could he give teachings without the support of an image, means body? Therefore, he says, I take the support of this body and teach you through this one. You understand that it is not a human guru or teacher that is teaching you. It is written, God speaks. He is incorporeal. It is said, salutations to the deity Brahma, salutations to the deity Vishnu. God Brahma is not said because he is a resident of the subtle region. You cannot receive the inheritance from them. So how could a human being give this inheritance to another human being? No one can understand these things. This is a godfatherly college where God teaches. Children, I change you from humans into deities. No one else can say this. Sannyasi's path is that of isolation. In the golden age, there were pure deities who followed the family path. I have now come again to purify the impure, to the extent that you stay in remembrance, so your sins will accordingly be absolved. It is souls that became impure. When alloy is mixed into gold, the jewelry made from it also contains alloy. When souls have alloy in them, they become iron age. All of you are now Tamapradhan, and then when you souls become beautiful, you will receive beautiful bodies. You are beautiful in the golden age. Then while taking 84 births, you became ugly. This is why Krishna is called the ugly and the beautiful one. It is not a question of just one. The whole kingdom was beautiful, but has now become ugly. Souls and bodies have both become diseased. You know that you used to be worthy of worship deities. From your being worthy of worship, Maya made you into worshippers. Those of the deity religion have become corrupt in their religion and their actions. They go in front of the deity idols and say, we are degraded sinners. We have no virtues. We are poverty-stricken and unhappy. It used to be the kingdom of deities in Bharat. Bharat was worthy of a crown. It is now the rule of people over people. They do not know the Father. You know that this old world is to be destroyed. It is said that at the time of destruction, their intellects had no love. Whose intellects? Those of the Yadavas and the Kauravas, those who did not know the Father. God speaks. Your fortune, which had sunk, has now risen. This study is for you to make your fortune. Only the one who creates heaven can make you into the masters of heaven. It is heavenly God the Father who creates heaven. It is Maya that makes you into the residents of hell. You sing that everyone remembers God at times of sorrow, and that no one remembers him at times of happiness. The path of devotion begins in the copper age. God has to come to give the fruit of devotion. God has now come in Bharat while you are sitting at home. Bharat is his home. It is there that the night of Shiv is celebrated, and it is here that they build temples. Shivbaba sits here and gives you children knowledge, which is also called the nectar of knowledge. He gives you knowledge in order to make you golden age. Therefore, He is given the name Somnath, means Lord of Nectar. Bharat is now completely poverty-stricken. You don't even have 3 square feet of land. Look where you sit and study. This is the largest hospital come college. You are midgets. You say, Baba, I am your 12-month-old child. A soul says through a body, Baba, I am your 6-month-old child. Therefore you are a midget. He says, I have become yours. Okay, study well now, and I will take you back with me. Sannyasis remembered the Brahma element. They forget the father and remembered the place where he resides. They think that the Brahma element is God, but that is their sweet illusion. How could the Brahma element in which we bodiless souls reside be called God? They say that they will merge into the Brahma element. Souls are immortal. They have to continue to play their parts. The Father sits here and explains very clearly. Although this Dada used to study the scriptures, he did not know me. I now tell him, and his soul listens. I come and sit beside him and teach you. This one also listens. I teach you through his mouth. I make you soul conscious. There is no one in the world who is soul conscious. Your children are claiming your inheritance of unlimited happiness from the unlimited Father, as you did 5,000 years ago. Sannyasis, etc., only keep scriptures in their intellects. Here, there is no question of scriptures. What would the Father remember? He himself is the Master. You remembered the unlimited Father. You are the Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris of Prajapita Brahma. You are claiming your inheritance from the grandfather through Brahma. The father is corporeal and the grandfather is incorporeal. The soul of shivbaba is in this one. Both are incorporeal. This physical father is a father and also a mother, for you are adopted through this one. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, in order to make your fortune for 21 births, pay full attention to the study. Follow the elevated directions of the One Father and fill yourselves with treasures. Second point, become soul conscious. Make the soul complete and pure with the pilgrimage of remembrance. Blessing. May you have a big and generous heart and always be one with an emperor's heart by constantly having good wishes for yourselves. Explanation. Constantly have good wishes for yourselves. Never become disheartened. The Father always has good wishes for every child. No matter what each one was like, the Father is never disheartened with even the last number, but constantly had hope in him. So, you too must not lose hope or be disheartened with yourselves, with others, or with service. Be one with an emperor's heart, and emperor means one with a generous heart, a big heart. Never imbibe any weak sanskars. Be knowledgeful and recognize the many forms of Maya and become victorious. Slogan. Let yourselves and the Father be combined in such a way that no third person can separate you. Om Shanti.